What is going on, y'all?
What's happening, everybody?
We are live.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome to week 5. Hope everybody won this week.
I did not.
You didn't. You did not win this week.
Yeah. Full disclosure, everybody here. I lost to Nick. I was playing him in 2 different leagues, and I lost to him in both. So,
Rough.
gotta take the L there. Not my finest work this week.
Not one of your best, but that's okay. Did we lose? Oh, my audio's going in or my video's going in and out a little bit. Hopefully that stays. Hopefully that's good.
It looks all right to me. Just a little bit choppy, but looks all right.
Okay. So some news in the NFL. Like I did a little bit of a recap about the running backs this week. The big one is David Montgomery. Right? Knee sprain.
That one hurts.
Knee sprain, avoided an ACL injury, but is expected to miss 4 to 5 weeks. So that puts us around week 10, which I think is the Bears' bye week. So let me just see if that includes the Bears' bye. That makes Damien Williams the priority ad this week. I know people have been talking about Khalil Herbert. Everybody's looking at Khalil Herbert, but Damien Williams is going to step into that role. It's not Khalil Herbert. Williams will take lead back duties. And I did a short on this today, John. The Bears also traded for Jakeem Grant from the Dolphins.
So that's a sign that it's not going to be Tariq Cohen coming in anytime soon.
One of the Bears beat reporters pretty much indicated like this move in addition to the Montgomery injury, don't expect to see Tariq Cohen anytime soon. He is still working his way back from his bad ACL injury. So
yeah, at this point, it's fair to wonder if he ever comes back.
I mean, I hope he does, but it's not looking great.
Yeah.
These types of injuries can
and that's Tariq Cohen. I'm not talking about David Montgomery there.
Right, Montgomery's fine.
Just for clarification. Yeah.
Montgomery will be fine. But yeah, so we got week 5 coming up, and then weeks 5 through 9, Bears have the Raiders, 7th in half PPR in points allowed to running backs for fantasy. The Packers are not great against running backs. They do have Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh, weeks 7 and 9 respectively. Tough matchups on the road in both cases. Pretty bad for the running back there. In between that is San Francisco at home, which actually by the numbers they are letting up points to running backs for fantasy.
Right.
And then it's their bye, and then it's the Bears' bye. So we could be actually looking at a 6-week absence for David Montgomery, not a 4 to 5 week absence. I would think they hold him out through the bye week. Of course, depending on their situation, are they in playoff contention? Do they feel like they need to rush him back? We hope that's not the case, but most likely we're looking at a 6 weeks absence here, and Montgomery comes back week 11 at home against Baltimore. I feel like that's a much more likely scenario.
So if you are contending, he's a hold, I would think. But if you are, if you're flailing, if you got 1 win through 4 weeks, I would try to sell him. Try to get a player that can help you win now. And that's basically in all formats. Try to get you a player that can help you win now. And then see if you can get to the point where you're in the playoffs.
Right. So we'll see what happens with Montgomery. Obviously, we hope he comes back, fully healthy. It looked pretty bad at first.
Right, but if the timetable's 5 weeks and we know for pretty much certain he's going to be out for 6, that bodes well for him when he comes back.
And I'm pretty sure it's a good schedule in the second half. Yeah. A lot of favorable matchups for David Montgomery when he returns. Looks like a strong guy to have on your team for the second half. So yeah, I mean he's a buy low candidate if the Montgomery owner is feeling the heat, is desperate. Montgomery might be a good buy if if you can wait on him. If you feel like you're off to a good start, you're 4-0 or you're 3-1, or maybe your record's not quite there, but you're scoring lots of points, you're feeling good about your team, Montgomery looks like a good buy low opportunity.
And I said in all formats, I do not mean Dynasty, but in most formats.
Season long.
In Dynasty, he's still a 24-year-old running back. Workhorse.
Season long. Right. But Damien Williams is the top waiver ad for me this week, just because he should see solid volume for this 5-week stretch. Some tough matchups in there, but there are absolutely some matchups as soon as this week against Vegas where you can fire him up. You could play Damien Williams this week if you needed to. So that's the top ad. And
what I will add is that he has handled literally every touch over Herbert, Khalil Herbert.
Yes.
So I don't really think Khalil Herbert is a threat at all to his workload.
No, I mean, Damien Williams had been mixing in as a pass catching specialist.
Yeah.
So Herbert could see that role, but it might be, depending on how he does. We've seen a few rookie running backs struggle this year in a variety of ways. So if it happens with Herbert, I mean, Damien Williams is going to see as much work as he can possibly handle, as many snaps as he can possibly handle. So I don't think Herbert is viable for season-long leagues.
That's my point. My point was that he's handled every single touch over Herbert thus far.
Agreed. Right.
So he's going to continue to do so.
Yes.
Right.
So he's only a guy for Dynasty right now.
Yep.
So that's Williams. I would say, and you just talked about him, John.
We do like him as a sleeper though too. Theo Von Miller just pointing that out in the chat.
Oh.
We do like Herbert as a sleeper, but I don't think he's handling a ton of touches next game. I think most of the touches are going to Damien Williams.
Right. Second claim that I like this week, maybe not so much in standard leagues, but in half and full PPR, and I'm happy to give you the floor here, John, if you want it, because you did the video on him, but Dawson Knox, looking like a young breakout player at the position for your Bills. And Josh Allen connected with him another 2 times on Sunday, 2 more scores in bad weather too. Was it raining the whole game?
Yes.
Yeah, it was raining like the Sunday night game.
Yep.
Bad weather in the Northeast this past weekend, but yeah, I mean, so you're talking about not great conditions, and he came through big time. So he looks like there's no tight end 2 that could vulture production, or where it's like anybody's guess any given week. Like Dawson Knox is the guy at tight end for Buffalo, and we know how much they like to throw.
Yeah, I don't even think that it's just, and I explained this in the video. I don't think we can stop at just tight end of the future for Buffalo. I think we need to think of him as security blanket for Josh Allen going forward.
Absolutely. I mean, him and Beasley, yeah.
Right. No, but I think Beasley, when he's done, is going to get phased out for Dawson Knox. I think that's the natural progression we're going to see here.
Sure.
Dawson Knox is only 25 years old, and while he was on the field a lot last year, they didn't run 2 tight end sets last year. They had 1 snap where they ran 2 tight end sets last season. Thus far, they've run it on 11% of their plays. They've run 31 snaps from 11 personnel.
Well, and then even still, I know they've run a lot of they go 4 wide a lot at receiver, but I mean Knox is the tight end 1 for that team. He's gonna be on the field. My point being, when they're in those sets, Cole Beasley isn't in on those sets. If it's a 2 wide receiver set, Cole Beasley's not in. It's Emmanuel Sanders and Stephon Diggs and Dawson Knox. Knox becomes
the security blanket when they move into more run-heavy formations, which they have been trying to do. I mean, you can see it on the field. What they've been trying to do is rush more to take more off the plate of Allen.
Mm-hmm.
That leads to more snaps for Dawson Knox, where he's the only guy running the short routes in on the field.
Got it. Okay, maybe I might have misunderstood what we were talking about when we were talking about Beasley, but yeah, I mean, point is, he looks like a solid rest of season hold, whether you need a tight end or not. I mean,
he's
again,
top 6 right now.
2 more
He's the tight end
touchdowns,
6.
right? Yeah, I mean, again, it's just like another example of like tight end being a complete crapshoot, but still, I think in like Yahoo leagues, he's still available in over 50% of them. So by and large, he's available. If you don't need
Next
like a
week they
Damien
play the
Williams or running
Chiefs.
back,
Next week they play the Chiefs, so
gonna
he's
throw.
gonna have a huge week next week. They're
Dallas
gonna
Goedert had a
yeah.
touchdown. Zach Ertz had a touchdown called back. But there were multiple tight end scores that the Eagles had against the Chiefs. So it's a good matchup for Knox.
Yep.
I like that. Guys who they probably aren't available, but I would say above all else, like guys like A.J. Dillon gave us a reminder of why he should be rostered, even if you don't have Aaron Jones. Darnell Mooney, congrats to you. You called it.
That's all.
We had a conversation, on the Sunday Starts It live stream. I and the chat were all on. It was Henry Ruggs or Darnell Mooney. We were all in on Ruggs, and he caught a 50-yard pass, which was cool. But Darnell Mooney was one of the leaders in receiving yards this week. I think he had like 18 half PPR points. So
yeah, I mean,
that
that
was the correct call.
I was
he
not
should be
expecting
owned
that.
everywhere.
I was not expecting that. I can't own that, but I was expecting. I was expecting him to have a good week, so I'm glad that he fulfilled that. Right.
You liked him to have a good week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
Henry Ruggs still did all right. Wasn't it 3 of 6 for 60 yards or something? Almost had a touchdown.
Yeah, had over
almost
60
had a few.
yards.
Right.
Yeah, almost had a few. Drew a defensive pass interference on a underthrown ball, which was raising all kinds of hell on Twitter. Stop throwing flags for underthrown balls, but that's a whole other conversation. The point is he drew the flag. So
and I
Ruggs
think
had a good
I
day.
think he took the wide receiver 1 role in that offense away from Brian Edwards thus far.
At least for now, he has.
Yeah.
At least for now, he has. Did Mooney take it from Allen Robinson? I don't know if that's a serious. I don't know if I'm like. I feel like I'm. I don't know if I'm being facetious or not, but I almost at the same time I'm like, is this correct? I mean, we've both been on Allen Robinson.
I think Allen Robinson bounces
on
back.
Allen Robinson.
I think Allen Robinson bounces back. It's just
We've
with
been
a
saying
rookie
that.
quarter. If they continue to roll with Fields, considering it's a rookie quarterback, he's not going to attack that number 1 corner. He's going to try to seek out the number 2 corner against the wide receiver who's just as good at getting open.
Which apparently is not going to happen because Matt Nagy reiterated that when Andy Dalton is healthy, he's the QB1.
So
even after this game where Fields looked significantly better than he did last week.
Yep.
So
he played a mistake-free game.
Maybe Dalton. Yeah. Well, apparently it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
To
yeah.
And that could change. Yeah. Obviously, right after the game, coach may stick to his guns, but we got a week of practice to get through. See how Fields does or what the reports are. But again, so Dalton still going to be the starter for the Bears. Does that make you feel better about Allen Robinson? I guess it does. Just because it hasn't been good for the past 2 weeks with Fields in there.
It does. Also because they don't have David Montgomery in. So they're going to rely more on their pass catchers. And they only really have 2 pass catchers and Cole Kmet right now.
Yeah.
So you got to end up relying on your big boys. And Allen Robinson is that guy for the Bears.
Even if it's just like short throws, like just make it where it's just like you're manufacturing a play for him. Just get it in his hands. Not that he's the type of dude that you run a wide receiver screen for. That's not his game. But like, just a little 5-yard out or just a slant, something.
Hey, if you got to manufacture touches for him, then do it.
Right.
But utilize him. He's your best player on offense right now. David Montgomery is out. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that was kind of roundabout, but that's okay. Mooney, make sure Mooney is owned. That was the ultimate point.
Yes.
But I brought up Robinson, so I'm the one who got on the tangent. But anyway, so Mooney, A.J. Dillon, wanted to throw him into. I'm not going to go down that road like we just did with Mooney and Robinson. But yeah, make sure they're rostered. And then Damien Williams is my priority, followed by Dawson Knox. And then I might just go back to the tight end and say Dalton Schultz. I mean, at this point, what more can you say?
My only hesitation is that Blake Jarwin has done pretty well at the same position. And Michael Gallup will be coming back soon. So at some point, those tertiary targets are going to get slimmed down, and they're going to get taken by somebody else.
So Gallup is going to miss. Well, he's missed 3 games,
right.
So he's technically now eligible to come off IR. But I feel like I saw a couple of reports.
There are 21 days now where
it's like he could miss some more time. So it's not a guarantee that he's back this week. It doesn't sound like. So I think Schultz and Jarwin could both be viable, but right now Schultz has the hot hand. You got to go. I would say, if you miss out on Damien Williams, you miss out on Dawson Knox, you're looking to add somebody just to have on your roster. Again, whether you need a tight end or not, I think Dalton Schultz is just fine as a pickup.
Just out of curiosity, where is T. Higgins right now? Is he due to come back soon?
So he got re-slapped with the questionable tag. So it's not like he's been ruled out.
Because again, if you're looking
sounds like he's expected to return to practice.
Okay, all right.
I mean, you're not getting rid of T. Higgins, or I know you weren't. That's not.
No, I was going to advocate C.J. Uzomah. If we're talking tight ends, if we're talking tight ends for one more week, I was going to say Dalton Schultz and then C.J. Uzomah because he had a huge week last week.
Yes, he did. Now they play Green Bay this week, who just lost Jair Alexander. So that's going to open things up for the wide receivers, I think. Higgins expected to return to practice this week.
Yep.
So if Higgins is back, then I would still say Schultz over Uzomah. But Uzomah proved that he's worth a look if any of the Bengals were to miss a game. If any of the Bengals wide receivers were to miss a game, or or even Mixon, like little short throws could impact the tight end as well.
Yep.
Keep an eye on it. Another guy.
Speaking of Bengals, we got to go there.
Okay.
Joe Mixon being out. Samaje Perine.
Yeah.
Pirine, depending on pronunciation. It's gonna be a thing.
I think it's Pirine, but I could be
wrong. Did the whole Cordarrelle Patterson video saying Cordarrelle. You're welcome.
Good for you.
I know Cordero, whatever.
So, with Mixon, with
this and keep this in mind because we got easy money Sicilian in here. I love Joe Mixon, but I might give him away for Chase Edmonds.
Oh,
so
is this the oh?
So while you're talking about Joe Mixon, kind of do an equation to him and Chase Edmonds while you're doing it.
Okay. Here's the thing with Mixon. He was first reported to be week to week with it's a knee or ankle sprain. First reported to be week to week. Then Zach Taylor yesterday said he's day to day. Mixon's day to day. And I touched on this.
Which is encouraging.
Yeah, but
right.
Here's the thing. I don't know how much I trust Zach Taylor because all last year Zach Taylor was speaking optimistically about Mixon in his return from injury, and he missed the entire second half of the season.
Very true.
I don't know how much I trust Zach Taylor when he updates or he upgrades a diagnosis, a medical prognosis. Zach Taylor is not a doctor. Zach Taylor is a coach. So if he got new good information, then great. But based off of the smoke and mirrors game that he played last year, I don't trust Zach Taylor. So I'm still going to, until I see multiple beat reporters say Joe Mixon has returned to practice and is practicing in full and taking contact, I'm not going to trust what Zach Taylor says. So for now, I'm treating Mixon like he's week to week. If you can get a Chase Edmonds for Joe Mixon, I also like Joe. I have been a Joe Mixon guy. I'm not inclined to go there. I would hold Mixon. I would need an additional something.
Like I know, and I gotta agree. I gotta agree. I know you're saying full PPR.
Yeah.
But we're talking about an RB1 who had the biggest workload through 2 weeks in the NFL as a running back. So as soon as he's healthy again, he's gonna go back to getting that type of workload. He just is.
And the big difference this year with the Bengals is they're off to a good start. Like
and Chase Edmonds, I really like him. And if James Conner was not there and he was getting the goal line work too, I've
been wrong about James Conner so far.
Then I could say, okay, maybe you do that.
Maybe.
But that isn't in the realm of possibilities for him.
Of potential outcomes.
No.
So I'm taking the Taylor comments with a grain of salt, but I will stay optimistic that Mixon can return because he stayed on the field. After the injury, he didn't go to the locker room. He didn't go into the medical tent. So I feel like that's got to be some type of good sign. So I'm holding Mixon. I'm not trading him.
And we got another question here though.
Yeah, real quick. But Samaje Perine is worth maybe say like 10% of your FAAB budget, 10 to 12%, maybe a little higher if you're the Mixon owner. The matchups upcoming look pretty good. But he's not like a must start or a must add.
No, you can look back to what he did instead of Joe Mixon last season. He was good, but he wasn't winning any fantasy awards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, Now, would you start Hollywood Brown or Cooks for flex? Last week showed you that Cooks can get just outright blanked.
Cooks can be human, yes. Cooks
because
can be
he's
human.
the only person in that offense. They can take you out of the game plan if you only have one person on your offense.
And they're playing New England, and we saw the job that Bill Belichick did on defense.
Now,
Bill
this is a
validated
revenge game for Brandon Cooks. I know you like revenge games.
I do. I'll go Hollywood. They're playing the Colts.
I would go Hollywood too. What up, Uzi?
What's up, Uzi?
What's going on, Dylan Horn?
Yeah, we'll get. Dylan, I see your question. We're gonna get to that real quick. Hollywood gets the Colts. They're giving up a ton of production to wide receivers.
I would say go Hollywood too.
Bounced back last week, I was very happy to see. He bounced back. I would go Hollywood. Cooks, you're right. I love revenge games, and I am a big proponent of Brandon Cooks, but rookie quarterback against Bill Belichick.
Yeah, Cooks
is
gonna have a hard next few games.
Yeah,
but and then his schedule does lighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
When does Tyrod come back? How long is Tyrod? Is he due to be out?
So he missed the rest of week 2 and then was placed on IR. So he's absolutely out this week.
Okay.
He's absolutely out this week. It'll be Davis Mills against Bill Belichick. So, good luck, Houston.
Yeah, we all know the rookie quarterback versus Bill Belichick narrative. I don't want to even touch that.
Yeah, if the Patriots defense is for whatever reason available, grab them. Okay, we can get to Dylan's question.
Yep.
Would you guys do Kamara for Gibson and Carson, or would you Kamara for Gibson and Carson, or Carson and Henderson? Sorry,
I would not do it for Carson and Henderson. Kamara for Gibson and Carson. What kind of is this dynasty? Is this season long?
I think it's a 14-team half. I'm gonna assume it's a season long. Yo, shout out for getting rid of the kicker and adding an extra flex spot. I have been trying to get the home league to do this for years, but we've got too many sticklers that don't want to change it. That's okay. I love you all. But I would do Kamara for Gibson and Carson.
That sounds enticing to me.
I would do that. Here's the thing. I think Carson is a solid buy low. I think he was oddly trending last week, and I messaged you. I was like, why is Chris Carson trending? And apparently it was like some injury concerns.
Season long. So there you go.
Into the game, Alex Collins takes a ton of work away from him. There's concerns about that. There were some people that were speculating now the Seahawks play on Thursday night this week, so maybe they were resting Carson. I don't know that I buy that because it's 2 division games. You're going to go in and try to win a division game. I know they were on the road. Maybe they were trying to preserve him for the home game, but I mean, I don't think in the NFL you take a step ahead like that. Like, you're trying to win the game in front of you. So I'm not 100% sure. Like, I guess I feel like it's more like the injury concerns is why Carson didn't get a ton of work.
His snap count has declined in every game this season, leading up to week 4. I don't know where it was at week 4. I haven't checked the snap count since, but I would assume they weren't super high considering what Alex Collins did.
Right, and they were winning that game. They won the game. They were winning, and Carson didn't get significant.
And he
snaps.
did come out of the game in week 3
yards.
For a pretty significant chunk of the game. He came out, so he was dealing with some sort of injury. He did come back into the game, but he might have, re-aggravated it in practice, or just might have felt worse the next day. You never know.
Yeah, so I guess before I'm like, yeah, smash the accept button on Gibson Carson, I guess I would say I just advocated for 2 guys who are banged up to start the year, because Gibson is also banged up. Shoulder injury week 3, going into week 3, still played. Shin injury going into week 4, still played, but then he may have picked up like a rib injury in this game. So he's racking up injury because J.D. McKissick was on the field for the entire end of that game for Washington. So Gibson's banged up. I guess the one thing you can say for Kamara is healthy, but Kamara's not, by his standards, the production has not necessarily been there from the guy who you probably.
I don't think it's going to be there, just because I don't think the offense is. I don't think the offense is on right now. Jameis isn't the guy. I think they need to go back to Taysom. Honestly.
Oh God.
I really look. Yeah, hey, I hate to be that guy. I was the biggest person pumping up Jameis Winston last season. I think I did 2 videos on it. And there were whole segments of my Troutman videos where I was talking about how it's going to be Jameis Winston time. Same with the Marquez Callaway video.
Okay, so you touched on it in multiple areas.
Yeah, it might be time to go to Taysom just to see if you can spark this offense, because it's not. It's not what it was week 1. That's for sure.
Yeah. I would suggest, I guess, like, if you're looking to deal Kamara to get, I mean, if you can get Gibson and Carson, at least right now, that does still look pretty good.
No, I would do that. It's just there are concerns.
And you have that, yeah. I mean, but you also have that extra flex because they got rid of kicker. I think I would say, yeah. I would take a shot at the Gibson and Carson. I would take that shot.
Yeah, I would too. Who's?
But then if you,
I mean, I don't want to play who's getting the ball with Carson either, but you'd still got to do it. The extra flex spot does help sway that decision for me. You're right.
Yeah. Right. Then you're just a little bit deeper if those guys are able to get healthy.
And is Max Williams worth a pickup? I mean, yeah. Why not?
I would like it more if you had Kyler. Well, the only thing is he's really, I mean, I guess it boosts Max Williams. He's distributing the ball pretty evenly. DeAndre Hopkins is not dominating targets in that offense.
Right, but when AJ Green gets injured in 2 to 3 weeks,
don't put that on him. He's off to a good start.
Bro, how long can that dude stay healthy? We got a track record. We got a history going back. We got a rap sheet for that guy.
I understand, but don't do that to him.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it depends on your tight end situation. If Dawson Knox is available, I'd rather have him. Oh, is it? Oh, sorry. No, Theo said he dropped Dawson Knox. Sorry. I mean, if like a Dalton Schultz is out there, like yes, over a guy like Max Williams. But if you need a tight end, maybe whatever the guys you have aren't giving you anything. I mean, yeah, Max Williams is streamable right now.
Particularly in contests where you expect the Arizona Cardinals staff to air it out.
Which they have no problem doing.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, I would really like it if you have Kyler. If you don't, but you could just use a tight end. Sure. Yeah.
David Montgomery for Chris Carson. You have Cook, Tyreek, and AJ Brown.
If you're getting Montgomery,
do you think? I mean, what's your record? Do you think you can hold out until week 10 and still make a play for a playoff shot, and then yeah. Remember what David Montgomery was down the stretch last season?
Top 5 running back.
Right. So he's gonna be coming in relatively healthy off of 6 games.
And another soft schedule.
Right. And hopefully the Bears will have figured out, and Justin Fields will have figured out the NFL a little bit better, to the point where he's starting and he doesn't look so tentative out there. So he could be reinserted into the offense at a time when they everything's going. If you're being optimistic. I mean, it could just stay crappy from here on out, and I don't know. I like to be optimistic.
I'm totally in for trying to buy David Montgomery right now. This couldn't be a better time if you feel like you can withstand the injury. Chris Carson feels like a little much. Because you're going to be trading a guy, you're going to be trading an RB2 with RB1 upside for what I think is going to be a low-end RB1, but not for another month and a half. So I would offer maybe so he says Gainwell, Trey, and Moss. Do you sell Moss and a wide receiver and keep Carson? Try to do or Moss straight up for Montgomery. At least Moss is healthy. If he doesn't go, if the Montgomery owner doesn't go for it, then maybe Moss and a wide receiver.
I know Gainwell is a hot name right now.
That's a timeshare. That's a timeshare in Philly.
I know, but he's a really hot name right now.
Yeah.
And everybody's saying he's the better running back, and be that true or false, now is the time to sell high on Gainwell. So if you can sell high on Gainwell and get a David Montgomery,
you're gonna need to throw in a wide receiver there. But yeah, if you can do Gainwell and a receiver for David Montgomery,
I think that's the way to go.
Yeah. Yes, I would do that. But I would not do Carson. So.
Would you do Gainwell and Trey?
I just don't like, I don't like trading 2 running backs.
Fair. He has Demont. He's trading Demont away. Would you trade him Demont for Carson? If Carson was too much to give up, by your logic, then you should take that trade.
It's a lot of running back depth, that's all. I'm not crazy about trading running back depth, or two, like a 2 for 1, but I am high on Montgomery. So, yeah. Hopefully this is helpful. We appreciate providing the content.
What did we decide on?
So I'm good. I'm trying to acquire David Montgomery Oh, he has Demon. Oh, well, in that case,
Right.
Sorry, I'm holding.
Would you trade it, Chris Carson, for him?
Then
Considering Chris Carson's going to be starting from here on out.
No, because I like Montgomery for the rest of the season more than I like Chris Carson, even with the injury. That second half is nice.
Okay.
That second half is nice. I would try to do Gainwell and a receiver for I would do Moss and a receiver for Carson.
Would you do Gainwell and trade for Carson? I'm not expecting
because then
anything
in that
out of Trey.
yes, in that
That
situation I could keep Moss.
Yes.
Yeah. In that situation I could keep Moss. Yes, I would do that. I would do sorry. I had a brain fart there apparently. Yes, I would do Trey and Gainwell for Carson. If the Carson owner was trying to go for something like that. But if not, then I would hold Montgomery.
There you go.
Sorry.
Hey, and we appreciate you, Xavier. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Jason Bonnell, we got Davonte Smith or Michael Pittman.
I mean, Davonte Smith had a good game. Let's see.
And I know Michael Pittman had a dud. He still led the team in targets by a wide margin.
I'll just say this: Jalen Hurts is better than Carson Wentz, and I like receivers that are attached to slightly better quarterbacks. I mean, it's not gonna.
They're gonna have to keep up with Baltimore, right? Aren't they playing Baltimore? The Colts.
Colts are playing Baltimore,
right?
So we're just gonna see Marlon Humphrey, Devontae Smith. Yes, the Eagles play the Panthers, but J.C. Horn is done for the year with the broken foot. So he avoids that, and then he gets Tampa week 6, which is a Thursday game, but it's at home for the Eagles, and Tampa's given up all kinds of production to wide receivers right now.
Yeah.
Then they get Vegas. They get Detroit.
Devontae Smith for the next few games, you're saying?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Devontae Smith, at least for the next few games, over Pittman. Yeah.
But I will say, if you want your shot at 8 to 12 targets to see if hopefully he can get a touchdown, because that's the one thing that Michael Pittman hasn't gotten in the past few games. He's still not a bad shot.
No, I like Pittman. I really do.
Yeah.
I like Pittman, but give me Devontae Smith, who's attached to Hurts, who has been. He looked he bounced back nicely week 4, 387 passing yards.
I mean, against a team that forced him to. You're not gonna have a conservative game when you're playing the Chiefs.
No, but you're not gonna have a conservative game when you're playing Dallas either, and he wasn't as good against Dallas.
Well, they didn't have a conservative game plan, but they just. You're right. He didn't put it together versus Dallas. He did put it together versus.
He did a much better job. Yes, he did a much better job again. He got better. He was better in Kansas City.
Okay.
So yeah, give me Devontae Smith, at least for the next few weeks.
CO110. Gainwell seems like McKissick.
Yeah.
Okay,
kind
is
of.
that a bad thing? I feel like that's a
Eagles are.
It's a pretty good.
I mean, to the point that the Eagles are completely abandoning the run game. That's great for Gainwell. The Eagles are clearly, they're valuing Gainwell. They prefer him in there on third downs.
I saw him flash through the pass game more than I saw him flash through the run game.
Yeah, they're involving him in, by throwing it to him.
Yeah.
He's taking a ton of work from Miles Sanders right now.
The receiving work. Mm-hmm.
The valuable work.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, he is like a McKissick to Miles Sanders, Gibson. And
Gibson's more talented physically.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just making the comparisons by as far as teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gainwell looks like he's going to be a thorn in Sanders' side for the rest of the season.
And pick up Gainwell or Damien Harris. I'd pick up Damien Harris. If that's Damien Williams, then
no, Damien Harris. Yes.
Right.
If somebody dropped Damien Harris, pick up Damien Harris.
Yeah. You gotta do that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Without question.
Yeah.
I know the snap counts have been wonky, but they've played. They haven't played the games with the most normal game script, I would say. I mean, they played against a powerhouse and they shut him down by all accounts. But
this is the window. This is the window to buy Damien Harris, like for nothing.
Yeah, he's had 2 back-to-back, not very good weeks.
Right, but that Tampa.
The workload isn't going anywhere. I mean, they're rolling with Brandon Bolden as their running back 1. No.
The Tampa game is done. The Tampa game's over. That's the that's the toughest matchup they're going to see this year. Yeah, this is the time to get Damien Harris.
He ran the most pass routes that he's ever run. He didn't capitalize on it, but he ran the most pass routes that he's ever run since joining the NFL.
Progress.
So, buy low, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Unless your name is Will Brown, then you sell him to me.
There you go.
Yes. Hey Xavier, you're welcome. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
If you got any more questions, throw them into the chat. Keep pounding 95. What would be good value for Cordarrelle Patterson? Everybody in my league is after him, and I really don't know how to value him.
Yeah. I mean, you did the video on him, John.
What format? What format?
I got to imagine it's like at least half PPR. That's where Patterson has the value.
I mean, everything in my soul says sell high right now.
Sell high.
Sell high right now. He's the wide receiver 5 right now. He's the running back 4 right now. And the crazy thing is he's doing it on like 33% of the offensive snaps.
Yeah, Mike
His
Davis
highest
is still
snap count percentage right now was 42%, and that was in week 3, I believe. He's had 7 rushes and 7 targets in pretty much every game. Last week, his best game, he had 6 rushes and 6 targets. But 12 offensive touches in 33% of the snaps. Imagine if that snap count rose, or if that snap count percentage rose a little bit. It doesn't matter if the efficiency comes down. If he's getting 8 rushes and 8 targets, you're going to be a wide receiver 3 at least, a running back 3 at least. You're probably going to be a running back 2, wide receiver 2, and you have a chance for boom weeks. The only thing is he's not going to be scoring 2 touchdowns a week. So you sell now. Even though he's going to have a super high floor moving forward, you sell now.
It's PPR 14 team 2 flex. I mean,
you sell now.
So
he's 31. His highest finish ever. Or maybe, is he 30?
I'm not worried
He's
about
30
his
or
age.
31. His highest finish in like 7 years in the league was wide receiver 74 or 73 in 2017.
I mean, it could be different this year. Only because here's the case.
They don't have any other talent on the team.
The Falcons have nothing else.
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley is a stud, and Kyle Pitts is an emerging talent. But he's 20. He's a rookie. And he plays one of the toughest positions in the NFL. Now, yes, he's not being asked to be a
Calvin Ridley is a stud when he has another person drawing coverage across from him.
I agree with you. Yes,
I don't know if we can say that he's a top 5 wide receiver in the league. I don't know if we can say that. Top 5 wide receivers in the league do well with 8 to 12 targets a game. They don't do what he's been doing.
Yeah.
My point being that.
But I would say yes. I agree. The volume that he's getting and the production that he's producing with that volume is not sustainable. But it's been wild to see like this explosion. So it's tough. And we could be dead wrong about this, but especially if you have 2 flex spots, this feels like a great opportunity to trade Patterson for a stud. Maybe you're stout at running back and you could use a wide receiver. Get a stud wide receiver and a depth running back. Mm-hmm. Anything less, I say, like, hang up the phone, right? Don't sell Patterson just to sell.
Yeah, but you can tell the person that you're bargaining with. He's the wide receiver 5 right now, running back 4, and he has dual eligibility. So like,
right, you can. It doesn't
matter what the person needs.
you could sit on it as if you don't even want to trade him. Like, call their bluff, right? Like, he's the wide receiver, or he's the running back 4. He's the wide receiver 5. Don't part with him for anything less than a stud at a position of need and a depth piece, whether you could use depth at that position or not.
Yep.
That's how I'm approaching it. So if you're wide receiver needy, ask for a stud wide receiver and a depth running back. If you could use running back depth, then ask for David Montgomery and a good wide receiver.
But you sell now because I think he's had 5 touchdowns in 4 games.
Yeah.
You sell now, or no? He's had 2 multi-touchdown games, and
2 scores against the Bucks, and then he just had 3 against Washington.
Yeah, you sell now because that's gonna go away. The touchdowns are gonna go away. His box scores are gonna look a lot less impressive when he's got, he's still getting you 13 points a game, but it's not gonna be that 33 points a game.
Right.
Sell now.
Yeah, I think we're both in agreement here.
Yep.
If it bites us, then sorry, but I think the move is to sell.
Then it's
Sell
an anomaly,
high.
and that
Sell,
you can't
sell very high. Don't sell just to sell, but sell very high.
You can't predict an anomaly.
Yep. What's up, Slim?
What's going on, Slim?
Started Van over Amari. Nah, you weren't. Look what happened.
Yo, you were a little crazy. You were a little crazy.
A little crazy, but it
crazy.
worked out. It worked out.
It worked out. Good job. But that was a crazy move. We would not have advocated for that.
No, I would not have
advocated. We would have
advocated
said
for
no,
that.
bad player studs. But
Yeah,
yo,
play
good job.
Amari.
Good job.
I mean, yeah, great call. That worked out. Would you trade Amari for Tim Patrick and Knox? No. No, I'm keeping Amari. Pitts is your only tight end. That's fine. I mean, Pitts is going to have his weeks. He's going to be up. He's going to be down. I know it's been mostly down. But Amari,
adding on to that, what I said about Cordarrelle Patterson, that touchdown regression is going to move from him to, I believe, Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley. So eventually, the pendulum is going to swing. Kyle Pitts is going to have much better days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I would keep Amari. 3 targets, 69 yards. Nice. 1 touchdown. Was at first looking like he might miss the game. He picked up another like in-game injury, but he was able to come back.
Yep.
And capitalized on his very limited targets. I mean, at the end of the day, Dallas didn't need to throw in by the 4th quarter in that game. This was a perfect storm for Amari as far as I'm concerned, because he came through and he didn't suffer any more injuries. Mostly pertaining to the rib
And he was on the
injury
sideline a lot. If you were watching that game, there was a lot of
he was in and out a lot.
ISOs to him on the sideline when they were about to set up for the plays. So yeah, he made it at the game healthy, and he put up good points in your box scores. So
right, I think he's a hold. I think he's a hold.
Yep. Jason B. Fisher, what's going on, bro? Half PPR, 12-team league, need RB help this week. Perrine, Evans, McNichols, Collins, any others? Damien Williams is not on waivers.
Okay, I'm gonna do this real quick, and then we missed a Xavier question.
Oops. Sorry about that, Z.
We'll get to it. I would just say Perrine among those options because assuming Mixon misses, it's Perrine because he's the one that of that group has the best chance at the most work.
And honestly, if I was to say, and I wouldn't have said this last week, but considering what he did, I'd have to say McNichols second.
Sure.
But I'd go Perrine first.
Sure. I mean, the Titans found themselves in a situation where they were losing the game to the Jets. So when that happens, Henry comes off the field. The Titans play next Jacksonville. Yeah, McNichols could be fine there. But Perrine would be the number 1. Yeah, I would go Perrine, McNichols,
yep,
and then maybe Collins 3, I guess, because of the concern with Carson, and then Evans 4. Short, but Perrine and then McNichols.
Yep.
We'll answer that second part shortly. I want to get back to Xavier. Would you trade David Montgomery, or Who would you trade? No, no. I mean,
Tariq doesn't take any work from him when he comes back because I don't think Tariq Cohen is coming back, at least not this season.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back. I don't think he's coming back. Or not for a long time. The Jakeem Grant trade all but like confirmed that. And Montgomery's a better pass catcher than Tariq Cohen is anyway.
And you're not blowing up the chat, bro. Thanks for clarifying your questions, and no worries, bro. That's what the chat is there for.
I would not trade David Montgomery unless I was getting an RB1, and that's a high ask right now. But there's a reason there's a high ask. I'm looking at the second half of the schedule when he's expected to come back. It looks awesome, and the last time David Montgomery had an awesome second half of the season was just last year, and he was a top 5 running back.
And one of the reasons
Montgomery for anything less than an RB1.
One of the reasons why he had that great end of the season was because he didn't have any competition for the third down role from any other running backs, and he won't when he comes back this season because again, I don't think Tariq Cohen, not Tyreek Hill. I don't think Tariq Cohen comes back.
Damien Williams has been taking third down work, so there is that. But David Montgomery is the best player in that backfield and came through with he had weeks 2 and weeks 3 were not good. But week 1 and week 4 against the Rams and the was it the Bucks that the Bears play, or who did they play? Week 4.
Last week.
The Browns. He came through like big time in some pretty bad matchups.
I thought that was week 3.
Or who did they just play? Or no, it was it was the Lions. Okay, yeah. Sorry. But he came through against the Rams week 1. Tough matchup. So 2 out of 4 weeks he came through big time, like 20 plus fantasy points. I think that those totals, even with Damien Williams in the fold, are still attainable for him most weeks as long as he's healthy.
Yep.
So I'm not trading David Montgomery.
No, I agree. Hold on to him.
Yeah, hold.
And Jason B. Fisher, your the second part of your question, Cobb or Crowder? Go with the better.
I would say Crowder just because.
Would you? Damn.
Elijah Moore's out, right?
Well, I would say go with the better quarterback because MVS is out too.
Sure. True. Elijah Moore's not on IR. Okay. He had a concussion. He's clearing concussion protocol.
I think with MVS out, you go Cobb.
Yeah. Okay. I thought Elijah Moore was.
He played a season high percentage snaps last week's game, and it translated into the box score. I think you chased the points there. You have to have that prior relationship. Cobb. What's going on, Brett?
What's up, Brett?
I have 3 running backs, have 2 tight ends touchdowns each. Go to the quarterbacks instead. Oh man. Yeah. Hey, sometimes it happens.
Dude. Yeah. Sam Darnold is he? I'm pretty sure he's the league leader in rushing scores right now.
Superflex sell high right now.
Yeah.
Do it.
Sell Sam.
In Superflex, sell Sam Darnold. Yep.
Sell Sam Darnold. I don't know that I want to do that. Because McCaffrey will be coming back, which will
make sure you're getting another quarterback back, but make a pretty much a lateral move as far as quarterbacks go, and then get something extra, right?
In theory, yeah. I kind of like how Darnold's playing right now, though.
He does have a good matchups up until the fantasy playoffs.
Yes, later in the season.
He has great matchups up until the fantasy playoffs.
I would ride him for a few more weeks then.
Trade him at the deadline?
Sure. To a quarterback desperate team. Somebody who needs between now and then an injury could pop up and then Darnold becomes much more valuable. I would hang on to Darnold at least for now. But yeah, I mean, he's vulturing a ton of rushing scores right now. That's not going to keep up. That's not going to stay the same.
It could. You never
Panthers
know,
get
bro.
the Eagles this
you never
week. I would think Chuba's worth another start this week against the Eagles. Kamara, if Taysom Hill is in there, this is just what he's going to do. He's going to steal touchdowns. What was the stretch last year? Taysom Hill was in there for 4 games? Kamara had 1 RB1 week.
I do not know. I do not remember.
I think that might have been the case. So yeah, it's kind of walking on eggshells right now. It's kind of scary with Kamara, but I mean, you got to fire him up.
Speaking of the Saints, we had another Juwan Johnson sighting last week.
That we did. That was cool.
Yep.
Good for that.
All right,
guy.
hey, this is a question. This is like a legit question that I've had. Is Tyson Williams a drop now? Is he just straight up a drop in season-long leagues?
Here's the frustrating thing. Tyson is still averaging like 6 yards a carry. But
Right.
It's not going to matter if he's a healthy scratch. I mean, there was the report on Sleeper that the Ravens seem to intend to move forward with Latavius Murray as their lead back.
But I mean, the fact that he can't even stick around as like the number 2 on this team.
Right. Le'Veon Bell got elevated.
Right.
I think he's a drop.
Unfortunately.
I think he's a drop. We were looking so right about that week 1.
We were looking. He was looking fine after week 2. It was just like, all right, he had a little bit of a tough week.
He's struggling in places where you expect young undrafted running backs to struggle. Pass protection.
But he's already 25, so it's not like you can really wait around on this guy for too much longer.
No. I think the experiment, sadly, is potentially
right,
over.
and it's not like the Ravens need him next year to where they're expending like a ton of resources to get him back on the field, or not get him back on the field, but get him acclimated. Right, Dobbins, Gus, they will both be back. He will be an afterthought of an afterthought. Unfortunately,
they could draft another guy if they really felt like they needed to.
Yeah. Now, will Deshaun Watson play this season, or is he untouchable to teams wanting to acquire him at the deadline?
We missed. Slim asked for a streamable defense this week, so we'll get back to that. But we can. The short answer is we'll get to it. The short answer is I don't think so about Deshaun Watson. The only team that looks like they may inquire, or they're kicking the tires is Miami. I'm just not sure I buy that report. I think they still want to get a look at Tua, like a real actual look. I don't think Deshaun Watson plays this year.
I don't think he plays this year either. And
I thought he would.
Next year, once the sentencing comes down, he's gonna have some sort of suspension. So whenever he's back, whenever his legal situation gets figured out, and his current situation with being on the Texans and not wanting to play for the Texans, and I think they were offered 3 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks, and they turned it down. I think there was a report, which I think is crazy. Even legal situation aside, if you have 3 firsts and 3 seconds for a guy that doesn't want to play for your team, you get rid of him. But they did not pull the trigger there. So
right, they didn't want to trade him at first. I think now they've kind of softened that stance, but I just think he's untradeable right now.
Yeah.
They have to see the legal situation play out.
He's gonna sit for 6 games whenever he gets his team and legal situation figured out. So, yeah, I'm off him.
Yeah. As far as Slim's streamable defense, if the Panthers just got torched by Dallas, if anybody dropped the Panthers, they're probably flying under the radar. They get the Eagles this week. I would play the Panthers at home against Philly. If for some crazy reason New England is out there, which they shouldn't be, but if they are, they're the top option because they're playing Houston. I doubt they're available, but if anybody had the Panthers defense, streamed them against Houston week 3, and then saw that they were playing Dallas week 4 and dropped them, Carolina.
That's a good one.
Carolina's a streamable defense this week.
I put Deshaun Watson in my IR spot for trade bait if he does get the start.
That's cool that he's eligible.
Yeah.
What's his status right now? Is it just like NA, something like that, on Yahoo?
You shouldn't be able to put him in an IR spot, but
That's I mean, if that's the league rules,
yeah.
If that's the league rules, then that's the league rules.
Not saying I knock you, I would
Yeah,
do
he's
it,
NA.
but
Anyway, that's pretty cool. What's the Jason asked again? What's the deal with Gaskin?
I mean, he was an undrafted
He's
free agent who
he had a nice stretch of games last year when he was healthy. He was in and out of the lineup, but he was productive when he was in there. But I don't know. I thought Gaskin going into this year was a trap. It felt like, somebody could do to Myles Gaskin what Myles Gaskin did last year to Jordan Howard, just like take the job and not have to do that.
And
much
it's Malcolm Brown and Salvon Ahmed.
Yeah,
it's not Gaskin. And this was a team that was always looking for a running back all offseason. They were looking for a running back. Maybe they were in on Aaron Jones when it looked like he wasn't going to go back to the Packers. Whenever there was running back movement in the offseason, there was a rumor that Miami was connected. They were apparently in on James Conner before he got signed to the Cardinals. They clearly weren't happy with the situation, having Gaskin on their squad moving into this season, and that's shown itself out. 4 games, and it's not a situation I still want to see Gaskin in there more, because I think he still has something left to show. I think he was a decent running back, but
I'm not seeing it. I don't see it personally. It was a good sign for him when they came out of the draft. The Dolphins did without drafting a running back. Well, they drafted Dokes in the 7th round. He's on the practice squad, but they didn't get one of the top 3, right? And everybody thought that was a sign that Gaskin had survived and is seemingly the starter. That doesn't always mean that that's going to work out for fantasy purposes the very next year.
Yeah. Another reminder that low draft capital means something when you're talking about running backs specifically. Low draft capital means you're basically replaceable, no matter how good you were last season.
Yeah.
James Robinson. I mean, the only reason he's getting a significant playing time, as much as playing time as he is
Robinson's better than Gaskin.
ETN got injured. Yeah, he is, but still,
he's just better.
That undrafted, it's undrafted
right.
Draft capital. It's just an issue, no matter how talented you are.
Yeah. Slim, if the Cowboys are there, they're playing the Giants, right?
Are they?
I think they're playing the Giants. If they're playing
the Cowboys'
Giants,
defense is good.
They
are good.
Cowboys'
defense is good.
Get Slim.
Yep.
The Cowboys. If you can stream the Cowboys.
And the Giants just really aren't.
And then who are the Cardinals playing? He said the Cardinals are also available. Who's Arizona playing this week? San Francisco. I mean, Trey Lance might start. You saw what happened to Justin Fields. Obviously, this is a much worse situation playing Cleveland, but rookie quarterbacks, just because we're excited about them doesn't mean it goes well. I would say Dallas 1, Arizona 2.
There you go. Brett, his status is out. Got you.
Oh, he's on ESPN.
Yeah.
I'm only in one ESPN league, so I'm not. I'm not as invested in that one as I am in others. So okay. Waiver wires bare. Bolden. I guess Bolden looks like he's going to be the pass catcher, and I can't believe it's going to be Brandon Bolden. J.J. Taylor was sent to the graveyard after Sunday night. Rest in peace, J.J. Taylor. Running back fumbling under Bill Belichick. He's never going to see the field again. Bolden.
Something Brandon Bolden has never done, apparently.
Yeah, but if you're, I guess he.
I don't know. I can't. That was just me saying.
If you're razor thin at running back and it's half PPR or better, full PPR, sure.
I mean, do you pick up Brandon Bolden? Realistically, do you pick up Brandon Bolden? I think he has a role.
If waivers are bare, he says waivers are bare. Like, if there's nothing out there, if Samaje Perine's not out there, Jeremy McNichols is not out there, You know, some of the other, like, who are the, like Alex Collins, even him, I'm like, ugh. I mean, the pass catching role is valuable. What did Bolden do Sunday night? I know I saw.
He played another significant amount of snaps. I mean, and feeding that fire is the fact that Harris didn't do anything with his snaps.
He had 8 fantasy points in half PPR, 6 receptions for 51 yards. I mean, shoot.
He's the pass catching back now.
Yeah, I mean, they get Dallas coming up. They get the Chargers are still on the schedule, like down the road. Atlanta, Buffalo again, week 16. That's the fantasy semifinals. I think Bolden is a viable pickup at this point. If it's you know, if it's like slim pickings, yeah.
This is the year of throwing an aging player's production out the window. You just have to completely forget about Cordell Patterson. We have to completely forget about Brandon Bolden.
Flush it.
Right. What's next? Kyle Rudolph to TE1? Like, what is?
That hard.
What's?
For the Giants, anyway, that's not that hard. Yeah, with Ramondre, Jason. I mean, Ramondre is going to have his lumps, and he's the Harris. I think he's the direct backup to Harris. So if Harris is out there, Ramondre's not playing.
And if Harris were to pick up an injury, it would be the Brandon Bolden show.
It would be the Brandon Bolden show. Yeah.
So yeah, pick up Brandon Bolden.
So go get Bolden. Screw it.
You have AJ Brown and Julio. Who should I trade
Xavier
and what
has
for?
AJ and Julio. You're not going to be able... I can't imagine you're going to be able to trade Julio. That's just like the value's not the same. I mean, you could try to trade A.J. Brown. You should be able to get something good in return, even though he's hurt. You should be able to get something good.
Yeah. Would you go Demont? Would you target Demont since they're both injured?
If I could get David Montgomery for A.J. Brown, I think I would do that.
There you go.
I believe in David Montgomery's second half of the season. I believe in David Montgomery's second half of the season.
He's done it before.
Yeah. Theo, we did miss it. Sorry. What would you spend on waiver for Max Williams? Probably like you got to be able to get him for
$5.
Like 4 or 5 FAAB. If you really want to add him, if you could use a tight end, like you got to. If anybody goes higher than 5 FAAB for Max Williams, then let him have him.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's dialogue happening in the chat, so I'm losing.
I have Demont,
but
I
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate. I you know. Oh right, duh. Xavier. He has Montgomery. Trade AJ Brown for.
Trying to trade Monty and Ayuk for Hunt? Don't do that. Don't do that. Keep Montgomery. Keep Ayuk. Ayuk will have better days. Straight up.
I'm not okay. I am worried about Ayuk, but he's
not the wide receiver 1, and we just have to understand that. But he can give you wide receiver 3 output with room for much more.
I guess the point I was trying to go for is I just don't want to trade Monty. I just don't want to trade Montgomery. I'm looking at that again. He's going to be out till week 11.
Can you package somebody else with Ayuk to get Hunt?
Yeah. Why not? Because I'm looking at Chicago's second half schedule, and I'm looking at what Montgomery did last year with a soft second half schedule, and he dominated.
20-point games, like back to back. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, if you're talking about Ayuk, I mean.
You said
off.
No,
Ayuk.
he says
I'm
that
just
he's
worried about Ayuk.
He says that he's stacked. What other?
Stacked at running back. I would still keep Montgomery. You can go from stacked to not stacked at running back, like in a
right. But you're trying to grab. He's trying to grab Hunt. Who else does he have that he can package with Ayuk to get Hunt?
Oh. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, maybe another running back.
Yeah, Hunt is always called a facade and ends up 15. Don't believe the hype. He is, he consistently overperforms as long as he's healthy. That offense will, in some form or fashion, run through him and Chubb.
Yeah, Hunt's good.
You have Eckler, Henderson, and Mitchell. Could you do Henderson? Henderson and Ayuk for Hunt?
I would offer. I mean that I would. And I know Henderson's healthy right now. I would prefer to do that. I would prefer to keep Montgomery. But if you can get Hunt for like that, then yeah. If you can get Hunt for that, then yes.
I would try to do something like that, Jason.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Yeah.
I totally missed Brett saying Darius Guice is eligible for Week 7. Blech.
Oh my God.
Saints got -3 against the Giants. Yeah, I know, but it's a division. I'm trying to. If I'm streaming the Cowboys against the Giants, I feel okay about that. It's a division game. And the Cowboys defense, I think, might be better than the Saints defense.
Yes, drop Tyson for Bolden. Do it.
Oh God, I can't believe I'm saying it. Yeah,
I can't believe I'm saying it either. I was
guess
the biggest
so, yeah.
Tyson fan.
I guess so.
But you got to do it, and I have to do it.
We liked.
I have to do it. I got to put in some waiver claims, and I'm gonna be dropping Tyson for Brandon Bolden.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta take your L's.
Yeah. I feel like I'm missing a couple of questions up here. I want to get Slim. I think Slim's like start Max next week. He disappears after a big game. If that's a question, just start him this week. I mean, who are your other options? And then Seattle D-backs are horrible. They're not good. Thinking about starting Van.
It's not too early to stash Jeff Wilson, but
not Van over Cup, right? If you're playing Van and Cup, then sure.
Yeah, but not Van over Cup. No.
Yeah, can't sit Cup.
I know some brave souls out there would start Amari Cooper or Van Jefferson over Amari Cooper, but
Slim's
we can't advocate doing that week in, week out.
Yes, sorry, I'm just catching up myself. Yes, yeah. Jeff Wilson is it's not too early to stash him.
Do
it.
Stash
him now. Get him now.
Yep.
Drop Tyson. Gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Najee and CeeDee Lamb for Hilaire and James Robinson and McLaurin. A good trade.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that looks pretty fair to me.
Yeah, I would say so.
It looks pretty fair. Getting that extra piece. Can you start all three of them every week? If you can get 3 for 2 and 2 of them are running backs, I think I would do that.
Considering what James Robinson has done the past few weeks, and considering that Carlos Hyde is now a healthy scratch, yeah, I would do that too.
Yeah.
If that was still the case, if he was still splitting work with Carlos Hyde, a significant amount of work, I don't know if I would like that as nearly as much.
Yeah.
Added
Carlos
flash.
Hyde was made an
added. Hey, what does the ticker say, Slim? No talk. Just because you called him Flash Gordon and not Josh Gordon doesn't mean you can talk about him.
What do you think, John?
5 to 7 targets a game. No comment, bro.
John hates that he loves Josh Gordon.
I want to say yes, and then I want to say why didn't I pick him up? You know, I want to go down that road, but he's 30. Doesn't know the playbook. It's an Andy Reid playbook.
Oh snap!
He's not kidding. They're playing Buffalo next week. So they might need to. I mean, it's going to be Tre'Davious White on Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Not that that matters for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I mean, it could.
Bill's defense has 2 shutouts in 4 weeks. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm giving them their props, but the Chiefs are a different beast. That's all.
Yeah, they are. I'm legitimately scared.
To go back to Hiago, I hope I'm saying that right. He said yes, I can actually. I think that means he can start all three of them. Yeah, I would do it. I would do Clyde, Rob. I would say yes.
I would do that too.
Getting the 3 for 2 and getting 2 running backs and being able to plug all 3 of them into your lineup most weeks. Yeah. Yes.
Chevy, don't trigger me though. Don't trigger me, dude.
Glenn, who would you be start? Oh, he's starting Van over Amari, who's playing the Giants. And Bradbury's a solid corner. I can't advise it, but the matchup is great. The matchup is awesome. There's no doubt. Van Jefferson's definitely got the better matchup. Amari's got the questionable tag. I'm pretty sure Amari's got the questionable tag.
But last week showed you what Amari could do on a questionable tag.
You're right. And they are at home. I can't advise it, Slim, but if you want to swing for the fences again, I know Van popped last week. Jason, yeah, I'm still keeping Montgomery. So he figured he would let go of Monty. I would keep Montgomery, man. I would. I'm so bullish on his second half. When he comes back week 11, they play the Ravens after the bye week. So that might be the best matchup, but like after that, it's so good.
Yeah, that's true.
It's so good.
No, I really like David Montgomery too.
I would keep Montgomery.
Yeah, I'd be trying to buy him everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Chevy was. You already said you're not talking about Josh Gordon.
Hey, I wish him the best.
I hope he balls. I really do. I hope he balls. I'm not banking on it.
If he goes 2013 Josh Gordon now, this would be the year. Cordell Patterson's out here doing it, right? This would be the year.
You can shotgun a beer if it happens on the live stream.
I'll shotgun a seltzer.
I'll shotgun the beer. Fine.
Non-alcoholic. Waterloo. There you go.
Fair enough. Waterloo's pretty good. We did talk about Dawson Knox, Hiago. We did talk about Dawson Knox. We both like him as a pickup this week, even if you don't need a tight end.
Yeah, but I got a video on him.
John did do a video on him.
Peep the video on him. It's on the channel.
If you need to chat, if you want to get some extra insight, some extra depth on Dawson Knox.
Trade Kyle Pitts for Michael Carter. I would not do that, Jason B. Fisher. I would not do that. I would trade either Schultz or Knox for Michael Carter. I would not trade Pitts for Michael Carter. See if you can trade Schultz for Michael Carter.
I would try Schultz first.
Yeah.
I would try Schultz first, but I would not go to Pitts. Does Gordon play the Watkins role in Kansas City? I mean, probably, but we don't know how valuable that's going to be for fantasy. We know it hasn't been week to week valuable for fantasy, so that's the only thing. If you need the wins now, yeah, Jason. Oh, and we kind of already touched on this. Did we say we said Henderson and Ayuk for Hunt? We would be cool with.
Yeah,
I think that's what we said. If you can swallow, like, I know Henderson's healthy. Montgomery's not. You need the wins, but you still have Eckler, who is a house. Like Eckler will help. Eckler will carry you. You got good pieces in Harris and Moss. Harris is a great play this week against Houston. I think you've got enough solid depth now where you could part with Henderson and just wait on Monty. That's what I would do.
I would too.
Yeah.
because David Montgomery has that league-winning upside when he comes back, and I don't think Henderson has that. I think he'll just be a steady contributor for your squad.
He'll be steady,
win you weeks, but he won't lose you weeks. And
yeah, but Montgomery,
I prefer to have a guy, when it really counts, who's going to win me weeks.
Yeah. How do you guys keep down and asked how do we feel about Kendrick Bourne?
Nick, you were higher on him or coming into this past week than I was.
Oh, that's right. There was an either or on the Sunday.
And you said Kendrick Bourne, and I was ready to just dismiss him outright.
Yeah, no, he had a decent little week.
In a game when they were, I don't know, that game script was wild. They're not going to be playing Tom Brady in the biggest revenge game of all time, what it was billed as, every game.
No.
And it took that game script to make Kendrick Bourne pop. If you call 5 receptions for 59, what was it?
5 for 58.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Heinen, what's going on?
What's up, man? 5 for 58.
Kevin Vaknani, what's up?
Dude, I mean, Bourne had 6 for 96 and a touchdown week 3. So he gets Houston this week. He gets Dallas week 6. Like, there's some decent. Bourne is kind of sneakily entering, like, I would maybe call it, like, in shallow leagues, 10, 12 team leagues. I don't know that he's a weekly flex, but he's creeping up.
In games where Mac Jones will need to air it out.
Yeah, he's creeping up.
He's the guy to go to. In games where they won't.
Week 6 against Dallas, he's not going to see. Bourne's not going to see Trayvon Diggs. That'll probably be Myers or maybe Aguilar, some combination.
Probably Aguilar.
Yeah. Bourne is definitely a sneaky flex play at this point. I mean, yeah. He had 18 half PPR points week 3, and then came through with 5 for 58 against Tampa.
So yeah, decent, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm chasing Kendrick Bourne, but there are worse guys to chase.
Sneaky flex play.
There you go.
Sneaky, not like go get him. Sneaky.
Jason, you had Schultz dropping for Knox last min. I mean, that's good. Better long term, I believe.
Had Schultz dropped him for Knox.
Yeah.
I agree.
Better long term.
I said earlier, somebody asked the question on.
You picked up Knox, Van Jefferson, and Gainwell all last week. Oof.
It's a hell of a week.
It's a nice waiver week. Yeah.
That's a nice.
It's a league-winning waiver week right there.
Yeah. Nice collection.
Yep.
Yeah, I do like Knox slightly over Schultz because Schultz has a Blake Jarwin. Knox doesn't have that.
Oh, Kevin, you paired him with Josh Allen? That's a great stack.
That's beautiful.
That's a great stack. Yep.
We love stacks.
I love stacks. Call me Jerry Stackhouse.
Yeah.
Hey,
Mr. Heinen, drop Tyson. Yeah, I
would drop Tyson.
For LaVisca, hell yeah. For Chenault. If somebody dropped Chenault, yeah. Chenault. Gotta be Chenault. DJ Chark is out for the year. Chenault came to life.
KJ Osborne is still a good name, too.
But it's gotta be Chenault.
It would be Chenault, but honestly, would you rather have, depending on who your quarterbacks are, Justin Fields or KJ Osborne? Would you rather have Brian Edwards right now or KJ Osborne?
Is it bad that I still want to hold Brian Edwards one more week?
No, because I'm addicted to him too. He's like the mini Josh Gordon, right?
I want to hold Brian Edwards for one more week. I really do.
Brian Edwards is the mini Josh Gordon.
If you can't get LaVisca, because I would have to imagine because he's available, everybody in the league is going to be in on LaVisca. Gotta get Visca. Get Visca for Tyson. If you can do that, that's all you need to worry about.
And Mr. Heinen, you're saying Latavius Murray, Damien Williams, AJ Dillon, they're all on waivers right now?
Well, AJ Dillon makes things interesting, but I think LaVisca Chenault really needs to.
Yeah, but then you got Brian Edwards. Would you rather have AJ Dillon or Brian Edwards? Would you rather have?
I'd rather have Dillon. Okay, fine. I'd rather have Dillon than Brian Edwards.
Yeah. So
I'd
be making a few waiver claims with those guys. I'd be dropping Tyson. I'd be dropping Brian Edwards. Depending on your quarterback situation, I might be dropping Fields too.
Depending on the quarterback situation, I could drop Fields. Tyson, I think, unfortunately, you got to cut your losses at this point.
Yo, he is mini Josh Gordon. Come on, the fantasy community is super excited about this guy. He's all physical tools. He's got the greatest wide receiver profile in the world, right? He's mini Josh Gordon.
Who the hell compared him to Randy Moss and Terrell Owens? Who did that?
He's mini Josh Gordon without the drugs.
Okay, well. You got it. Yeah, Tyson and Brian Edwards. Tyson and Brian Edwards can be dropped if you can get both Laviska and AJ Dillon.
Agreed.
If you can get Laviska and AJ Dillon, any two of those three are droppable. Let's put it that way. Any two of those three are droppable.
Hey, everybody in the chat, we got 17 people in here. Nick and I just made a trade. Nick and I just made a trade. I got a.
Oh, right.
I got AJ Brown. He got George Kittle.
Why are we telling them this?
Because we got to rate our trade, chat.
Uh-oh.
Come on now. Yeah.
The tight end premium league. So full PPR for tight ends, half PPR for wide receivers and running backs. I was about to start Adam Troutman, but then I got Kittle and Sony Michel for an injured AJ Brown and a 2023 first round pick. It is a dynasty league.
And I am rebuilding. So
you are rebuilding.
0-3.
Real quick, Xavier, is Rashad Bateman worth the hold? I mean, if you don't need to make a move, then yeah.
Until he shows us what he is and the amount of just that unknown commodity that he is, and the fact that he came into the NFL with such a great wide receiver profile. He profiles as a number one. Nobody else in that offense technically profiles as a true alpha number one. He comes in and he does, if he commands that workload, even in a low volume passing attack, if he gets what Sammy Watkins is getting right now, 6 to 7 targets a game, that's
and he's gonna be viable.
Wide receiver 2-3, wide receiver 2 value.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Kevin, drop Chenault for Curtis Samuel? No. Oh,
I know
Diami. Oh, he said sorry the other way. Drops. Yeah, then.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I know Diami Brown is out, and I know Logan Thomas is out.
I like Curtis Samuel. I do, but Chenault's got a clear path.
Better quarterback right now.
Clear path to lots of playing time.
Yep.
Sans chart.
Is Latavius Murray worth a waiver claim? Yeah, he's the number one right now for the most run heavy team in the NFL.
I think he will hold the RB1.
He's 31 years old. I know he's not the sexiest running back in the world, but right now he's. You saw what they did with Mark Ingram at 30 years old. A few years ago, he was running back 13, I believe.
I think he was like
running back 10, running back 13, depending on your format.
It was like RB8 or something.
Right.
Oh no, I think he tailed off a little bit at the end. Yeah, but he finished as an RB1.
Right. They're not afraid to just roll with the vet if they believe they can just get it done with the vet. So yeah, go out and get Latavius Murray for one season. I think he can be an RB2.
Mm-hmm. Or high end RB3 with some upside. All he needs to do is just fall into the end zone. Traded Chuba for Davonte Smith, the Christian Hunter. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Love to see that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well done.
And definitely drop Tyson, Mr. Heinen.
Yeah, it was a fun little month-long ride, but I think it's over.
Yeah.
I think it's over.
If I would have known it was going to be over this quick, I would have advocated to everybody out there to just trade him. Yeah. Trade high off of that week 2, but
yeah. I'm just scrolling through really quick. I think we're caught up on comments and questions. If you're still in here and you were expecting us to answer something and we didn't, please let us know.
What's the deal with Noah Gray? Nothing, bro. He's a rookie tight end who still needs to.
He almost caught a touchdown.
Yeah, he almost caught a touchdown. I know, but it's gonna take him a little bit. There's no reason he's gonna overtake Kelsey anytime soon. Kelsey's still got it. He's not going anywhere.
No, he's not.
Just be patient with Noah Gray. Honestly.
Yeah, Theo plays Dynasty. Hold Noah Gray. There's no reason not to drop him at this point. I can't imagine there's anybody available in a deep dynasty league that's like so worth it over Noah Gray. Yeah, just hang on to him.
Yo, Xavier, you traded Tyson, AB, and Jamar Chase for Adams? Antonio Brown and Jamar Chase for Davonte Adams?
That's a hell of a trade.
Yeah.
I mean, Adams is in the wide receiver 1 conversation every year, so
can't hate on acquiring him.
Yeah. Thanks, Vernon.
Sterling Shepard has become available in my league. Are you missing anything besides the hammy? No, I think people are just scared off by the hammy.
Yeah, I think people are scared off by it.
And they're scared off by that offense. And they just don't believe in that offense. They believe that since he's already out, it's another flash in the pan, just like what they've always seen from Sterling Shepard. And yeah, he capitalized on that because when he's back in the lineup, he resumes being the apple of Daniel Jones's eye. And he resumes being a solid bet for 8 slot targets a game, right?
At least.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason said Tyson's the better back. At this point, I agree. From a pure talent perspective, I think Tyson is the better back, but I think there are too many little things, too many intangibles that are holding him back because you know how coaches are. Yep. Right, they want to go with the veterans. It sucks for Tyson. Maybe Tyson becomes viable again if Latavius gets hurt.
That's
maybe
what
Tyson
you're hoping
becomes
for.
viable
If you
again.
are going to be holding on to him, that's what you're hoping for.
You're holding out hope that an opportunity arises through injury, which we can never.
Or that he works his way out of the doghouse through practice or something, and all of a sudden they see it click, and he just gets inserted back into the starting lineup. But you can't count on that. So
right.
he's a safe cut, safe drop. Is Khalil Herbert the play, Vernon Weston?
I don't think so.
Damien Williams is the play if he's available. Khalil Herbert feels like
Damien Williams is taking the David Montgomery role. Khalil Herbert is taking probably a chunk of the Damien Williams role, which was like third down duties. But can he pass block as a rookie? That's gonna be a big question for him to have to answer if he's gonna play third down.
Khalil Herbert didn't have the greatest profile. I did a rookie profile on him when he before the season. He didn't have the most glowing profile. He was an older running back who never earned RB1 duties in college. He was always usurped by somebody else. Honestly, wasn't it Puka Williams?
Oh gosh, I think it. Yeah,
I think he couldn't retain a starting running back role in college because of the presence of Puka Williams. So that's who Khalil Herbert is.
I think Damien Williams is about to get the lion's share of work,
right,
until Montgomery can come back.
Yep. Kevin Vacani, what's up with Marlon Mack? Where the stash? I mean,
yeah,
if they can find a way to trade him to a team where he can get significant snaps, sure. But if he sticks on the Colts, no.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
like a big no.
The Colts are probably reluctant to trade him because they're reluctant to trade running back depth. But it makes sense for them to move him. Now, do NFL teams always do what makes the most sense? No. If Mack gets traded, you got to imagine he's going to a situation where he's going to get an opportunity. The other question is, how effective is he coming off? It was an Achilles for him, right?
I believe so, yep.
I think it was an Achilles injury for Mack. That's way worse than an ACL. But generally, not, obviously every situation is different, but generally speaking, Achilles injuries are much tougher to come back from than, say, an ACL. Mack has said he's healthy.
No, literally no running back has come back from an Achilles rupture and done anything of note. We have Dante Foreman.
Dante Foreman came back
most recently and rushed in a few games and didn't look terrible. That's the success story from Achilles running backs, or Achilles tear having running backs. And we're hoping that Marlon Mack is the one to buck that trend. We're hoping that.
I mean, it would be cool.
It would be cool. And hopefully we're looking at what happens with Marlon Mack to project what's going to happen with a guy like Cam Akers.
Yeah. I don't even want to go there. It's too soon. Mac is.
No, there was a video on Twitter of him running on some crazy sort of machine, but he was running already.
Akers? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that I can feel good about that. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to truly know about Mac until he gets traded. If he gets traded. So
but I'm willing to wait it out. Like, I'm not trying to trade him trade for him until I know where he's going. I'm not trying to trade him with this news that him and the team have openly looked for trade partners. I mean, if it never comes, you're trading for an empty roster spot.
Right.
Which you never want to do.
So, yeah, I mean, it's continue wait and see mode. And then even if he does get traded, we got to give it at least a couple of weeks to see it, if he is in the starting lineup, we got to see how he's going to do. So.
And Iago, you guys starting Knox over Pitts this week. Knox is playing the Chiefs.
True.
Are you putting too much faith in this Buffalo offense? Look, the one thing I can rely on for the Bills is that they're going to come out swinging. I expect them to. They're not gonna come out and play game management, time management. Let me run the ball a lot.
And the Falcons are playing that London game. The London game is always weird. Is that a weird blanket statement by me? I might go Knox.
I would go Knox.
That's not crazy.
Yeah.
It's not crazy. I think I would go Knox. Yeah.
I'm sorry if that fails you, but I would go Knox too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great matchup.
Jason, we agree.
It's a great matchup. They're going to have to keep the Bills are going to have not that you have to, entice the Bills to want to throw the football. It's like, oh, twist my arm. Bills want to throw the football.
Yeah.
So Knox is absolutely going to be involved in what would you expect points to be scored in that game with Kansas City. Falcons got to go across the ocean for a London game. I feel like the London game is always weird. I don't know. I think I would fire up Knox.
You got Moss and Knox. Who are your other running backs?
Moss scares me a little bit this week.
Game script is not in his favor, and he is splitting the backfield with Singletary, who got an even amount of work with him last week. It was split pretty evenly.
Moss got the red zone work, but yes.
And Vernon, you're welcome. Thanks for tuning in, bro.
Yeah. I think we've gotten to everybody, or I think we're kind of caught up. One more time, if we didn't get to a question that you already answered and you were expecting it, let us know as soon as possible.
Gainwell, Zach Moss, or Julio this week in the flex. If Julio he's a chance he doesn't even play. Would you go Gainwell or Zach Moss? I would go Gainwell because he looks like the better back thus far. The coaching staff is even saying it. And game script would lead you to believe that the Bills won't need Zach Moss as much as the Eagles will need Gainwell, who has been a really good pass catching target, so he's kind of game script proof.
I'm inclined to agree.
That's what I would go with.
I'm inclined to agree. And the Panthers.
And do I believe he will take the starting role from Sanders? That I don't know. Does he need to? I don't think so, because he already has the more valuable role. He's catching the targets.
Catching passes.
If Miles Sanders is getting all the rushes, that's fine, as long as Gainwell is getting all the targets.
Yeah.
Yep. But, Jason, because the Eagles will always be behind.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yes, I love to see it.
Not wrong.
Love to see it.
Thanks, Thiago. Appreciate it. Yep. Jason, happy to help. Jason Fisher. We got a couple Jasons in here. Real quick, John, I don't know how much time we've got left. Just a pitch letting everybody know. Maybe I should have said this a little earlier, but this week we did already mention that there is a London game this week. We usually do start sit streams at 10 a.m. Eastern Sunday. John, we're planning to do that Saturday night instead, so that we can free up space or free up that time slot so that people can watch the London game. So Saturday evening, we'll be doing our start sit stream this week.
And in response to your last question there, Iago, I would Jamar Chase moving forward. He's a borderline wide receiver 1.
You start him. You start
rookie
him.
of the
You find
year.
You find a way to start him.
Yeah, the guy's incredible.
He is good at the football.
Yeah, he's good at that thing.
You start Jamar Chase. You find a way to get him in there.
Yep. And hey, before we end the stream, we just hit 2,000 subs today. So thank you to everybody in here.
Yeah, thank you to
has
everybody.
been a part of that. It's been fun getting here. Honestly, we didn't think that we would get to 2,000 subs this quickly.
Not this fast.
And we wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in with us on the stream. Thank you guys for watching all our videos, being loyal subs.
Yeah, appreciate it.
It's been cool.
Yeah, but I guess before we wrap up, I guess I'll just real quick run through waivers. AJ Dillon, Darnell Mooney need to be rostered, and then after that, Damien Williams, top waiver claim. Dawson Knox, I would put at number 2. Dalton Schultz is up there. Josh Gordon.
I'm kidding.
Latavius Murray's absolutely worth it. Down the list, Samaje Perine would be fine if options are low. As far as running backs, Perine should see some decent volume without Joe Mixon playing.
Get that Perine disease.
Would you stop? But but anyway, that's just a real quick run through of waivers. If anybody's got any waiver pickup questions, feel free to drop comments on the stream. We'll be sure to pick them up throughout the night.
Absolutely.
But yeah, thanks everybody for joining us.
We'll see you Saturday night.
We will see y'all. If anybody wants to tune in, we will do start sit for week 5 Saturday night. We'll announce the official time at some point on the channel.
And this is the first time that we did a live stream starting at 6. Usually it was at 7. Let us know if you like the new time. If you want us to switch back to the old time, if that's more convenient for you. Throw that in the comment section below too. But yeah,
appreciate all the engagement, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate the engagement and the questions and comments. Yeah, sounds good. See y'all Saturday.
Peace.